Noble sires, fair ladies and pilgrims, don't dilly-dally. Come, purchase my Swiss dried meat, which is fit for a king's table and won't be spoiled by the damp.
Ladies and gentlemen, come taste my excellent wine from Cyprus. There's no better remedy for a parched throat. Could you bear a fortnight on the sea waves without a flask by your side?
What a burden for the shoulders of the humble victualler that I am, providing food to folk all day long, in the damp, amid the rotten, putrefying provisions. And the stink, my dear sires. Luckily I have my own little recipes for keeping these victuals young.
Navigation, my good fellow, navigation. Thou art forever steering clear of a peril upon peril. High swells, storms, and even the sea monsters more terrible than the Leviathan described by Moses. The sea guide and I never have a moment's peace.
Sea voyages are a far sight less dangerous since the alliance between the King of Jerusalem and Saladin. But those villainous Moorish pirates still continue to plague the high seas. If I were to travel with these brave pilgrims, I would consider fortifying the ship.
Now that thou hast been banished, thou wilt never regain thy land and title in France. And yet, I am aware that it is important for those who find themselves in the Holy Land to court favour with the great families of the West. But do not fret, Artaud. Believe in what I say, and Lady Luck will smile on thee like some amorous little wench. Begin by loading all that thou needest for the voyage onto this Venetian galley, the swift Lucina.
Artaud, thou remindest me of the noble Reynald of Châtillon. Same ill-tempered character, always spoiling for a fight, and the same destiny. In France, Reynald was nothing. Yet did he not become a prince in the Holy Land? The kingdom of Jerusalem no longer boasts any heroic knights worthy of the race of Godfrey of Bouillon. Such men would find great fortune there. Bear that in mind.
Whilst Sir Arto inquired about the preparations for his voyage to the Orient, he became deeply engrossed in his own thoughts, mulling over many questions. What were Gérard of Riedefort and the Doge's real intentions in telling him about the relations between the Holy Land and France? Who was this Reynald of Châtillon, who seemed similar to him in so many ways? Was this an invitation to join the Order of the Knights Templar, at a time when it was going from strength to strength in the West? Never in his troubled life had the far too hot-headed Arto used his pensive powers so much. Under the sun of Saint-Gilles, his grey matter began to heat up like the rim of a wheel. Beware, Arto. These people do not inhabit the same world as thee.
If you're to sail far away, you'd better be ready for many a trial. Many a pirate there's sure to be, especially them ones from Italy, who in front of the pilgrims' riches are bound to cut each other's breeches. If you're to sail far away, you better be ready for many a trial.
By George, what vessel to choose? Pisan, Genoan, Venetian? One just as expensive as the other, and all of them equally scared of pirates. I've heard it said that the competition between those Italians is so fierce that they don't flinch at attacking each other once out on the high seas. What a calm voyage we have in store.
Following the coasts won't help us. They're the domain of the Moorish pirates. They'll clutch onto thy vessels like my parish prior does onto his wine jug. Then they'll climb on and strip thee of all your possessions before throwing thee overboard. Traveling companions like that, I could well do without. Thou was very wise to take my counsel, dear Arto. Thy Lucina is part of the fleet, taking pious pilgrims to Saint-Jean d'Arc in the Holy Land. These ships will be under the protective escort of the Templar galleys. We will meet again once we have arrived there. But don't forget that the voyage is just as long and fraught with danger as the retreat of Saint Anthony the Hermit in the desert. Thus, take heed of this last piece of advice. Inform thyself on all the different ports of call on thy voyage to Saint-Jean d'Arc.
Now that the Normans control Sicily, it is more dangerous to set sail than before. Those chalk-faced oafs have become the masters of the seas.
What a shame it is that the Venetians are the sworn enemies of our Christian brothers of Byzantium. Why do they not unite against the Saracen infidels instead of fighting amongst themselves?
On our voyage to the Holy Land, we will be calling at several Venetian trading posts. With their and God's help, we will undoubtedly arrive at our destination alive and in good health.
As the vessel began to distance itself from the coast, the pilgrims began to fill with fear, like little chicks leaving the comforting wing of their mother. As for Artaud, he chewed the words of Gérard over and over in his mind, imagining himself perhaps one day covered in glory and refound dignity in the Holy Land. Another question troubled his mind, little accustomed to such periods of deep reflection. What exactly was the relation between the Seneschal Gérard of Riedefort and the Doge of the most serene Republic of Venice? Artaud remained enveloped in his thoughts, when suddenly great commotion stirred from the crow's nest.